Hi everyone and welcome to this new series. This series is pretty much just going to be really relatable. I know I have a lot of followers who are in the same age group as I am and either just starting college, in college, about to graduate, or full-blown functioning adult like I am now. I wanted to make this series because I've seen a couple series and couple accounts on YouTube that do this kind of thing, and I wanted to do my own because, I think all different kinds of advice on different things and just different views from a lot of different people about, things like adulting and college and things like that. There's not just one experience for everyone. It's all shades of gray. It's not black or white. It's not either you are successful or you fail. It can go any which way, and that's the scary part about it, and I just thought I would share my experiences and stuff. So, this one is going to be about my college experience. So, college experience is different for everybody. I remember I was terrified right after I graduated. Well, actually, before I graduated high school, I was terrified to go into college because first of all, I did not have a very good middle school or high school experience. I was bullied. I had friends, but they were all kind of like catty and snakes and whatever. Anyway, so just from that experience alone, I was really scared to go to college because I didn't know what kind of experience I was gonna have, and I am happy to say my college years I'm gonna remember a lot more than my high school ones. I've already forgotten over half of high school. I don't even remember middle school really. And I'm just so glad that college was a positive experience for me. And I mean, yeah, obviously it has its ups and downs, and everyone goes through finals week jitters and finals week stress, and there's a ton of stress in college, but it's the good kind of stress. It's the stress that you're being challenged. It's the stress that you're bettering yourself rather than stressed over things you're never going to learn anywhere else or never going to use. But yeah, like I said, overall mine was pretty positive. My first semester was, a little rocky. Not rocky in a bad way, just rocky in the way of I'm transitioning into this new school. I have no idea what I'm doing kind of thing. Oh my god, if you are in high school and you are watching this, it gets better. Like, I hated hearing that saying, oh, it gets better after high school. It's true. Okay, it is true. My college experience compared to high school was, oh my god, the first week I could already tell a difference, and it was just amazing. It was such a good feeling. It was such a good experience. I mean, that's really what it was. And just the fact that it was so different, it was so nice. I went personally to a 2-year college, and there's nothing wrong with 2 years at all. I recommend 2 years over 4 years any day. My 2-year college is in my hometown, so I was able to stay at home, which I was really lucky that I was able to stay at home and go to this college. It's literally just like, 10-15 minute drive depending on which way I go. And so it saved me on gas because I know some people were coming in from all over the place to go to this place, and I ended up coming out debt free. Like, I have no student loans, I have no student debt, I have nothing to pay back. So 2 years are not a bad option, especially since they're usually a hell of a lot cheaper than 4 years. My best friend actually went to a 4-year university for nursing, and she only went for 2 years there, and then came back to my 2-year the year I was graduating, and because I went for 3 full years. And so she did 2 years there, and then in my last full year she came, and she's $40,000 in debt. And that's 2 years at a 4-year, where it was about I think it was a little over $2,000 every semester, I think. I think when I first started there, it was $1,500 around, and that was the only one I had to pay out of pocket because FAFSA got all mixed up and financial aid and whatever. But every semester was around $2,000, and FAFSA took care of that. I got so much free money from scholarships and stuff that my college owed me money. About 3 months after I graduated, I got a check in the mail from my college because they finally got their MAP grants in and stuff, and they realized they owed me money from scholarships and stuff that I had gotten. So community colleges are pretty great, and I've had more people than not say that the professors at 2-year colleges are usually a lot better than the ones at 4 years because it's more personal. It was amazing. And honestly, all of my art professors, I'm an art major, or I was. Anyway, I'm still not used to saying I was. I'm used to saying I am. But all of my art professors are like family. I mean, I hang out with them outside now. Like, it's amazing. My credit hours every semester were about 12 to 13 or more. I think one semester I actually took closer to 15 or 16. Full-time at my community college was 12, and at my first 2 semesters I took 13. So I maxed it out every semester, plus I took summer and Christmas break classes, so. And I still finished in 3 years. Like, you're technically supposed to finish in 2, but I really don't understand where they get that number from, because there's no way, unless you literally kill yourself trying to finish in 2 years, you are not going to finish in 2 years. Especially if you have a specialized degree, like I have an associate's in arts. If you were to just get a general applied sciences or just a general degree, I think you could probably do it in 2 years. But yeah, my professors, oh my god, I fell in love with all of my professors. I can only think of one professor I had that I didn't like, and that was in my first semester, and they didn't have, nobody at that college had a good thing to say about her, and I didn't know what ratemyprofessors.com was at the time, so I didn't think about it. I just knew I had to take the class, so I took it, and I got through it. It was an English class, and she gave a C+ on every essay, unless it was exactly like the handout she gave you. Yeah, that was my first English class. Pretty much, unless you did it word for word what she had on the example packet, only changed it to your subject, she gave you a C+ because you didn't do it exact. And it was so dumb. It was the dumbest way to teach. But, you know, it made my writing that much better because I was able to finally, like, you know, get outside the box after that class, and the rest was smooth sailing. I honestly, that is the only professor I can think of that I did not like at all. Like, out of 3 years, I think I took 70-something credit hours when I only needed 60-something. Like, I took a lot of extra classes, but they were all stuff I wanted to take. It was all stuff that I needed. It was, you know, it was really cool in college. That was another thing I think I remember most, is it was really cool to be able to pick your own classes. Like, you have all these different, like, categories obviously you have to take classes from, but you get to pick the class inside each of those categories. That was the best part for me, because I hated taking the generalized what everybody has to take classes in high school, because half the time I didn't do very well in those classes. I mean, I did usually get A's and B's, and bad for me in high school was a B, but, you know, just being able to take classes I wanted to take and classes I wanted to experiment in. I got to take astronomy. You know, like, you would never be able to take that in high school. Like, that, I think, honestly, that's one of the biggest takeaways for me, is the fact that I was able to take classes that I wanted to experiment in, that I was interested in. And in my last year, I took 2 or 3 classes that I could honestly see myself doing as careers later, if I decided to change my mind. And those would probably be like astronomy, anthropology / archaeology, and art history something or other. So yeah, so that's cool, because, you know, it broadens your horizons, and it's really, I don't like the fact that people are like, you have to go to college because that's the only way to make money, where most people that haven't gone to college make more money than I do with a degree. So I don't like the stigma of having to go, but it is in hindsight, it's really good that you go, just for the experience, just for meeting new people, just for making connections. Like, literally, if all you get out of it is a class that you really enjoyed, it was worth it. So like I said, I'm an art major. I was an art major. And I had probably some of the best teaching and the best art professors I could have had in the whole state. Like, there wasn't an art department like ours within 100 miles, I don't think. We were lucky enough to have a dark room. We were lucky enough to have pretty much the perfect storm of, just the perfect everything of professors, and it just gelled. Everything was amazing. You got a little bit of everything no matter what class you took. It was the best, honestly. And in my first year, my very first semester, I took on becoming the president of the art collective. I was the president of a club. And if you knew me before college, and if you knew me in high school, if you even understood how awkward and shy I was, you would be like, you did what? You signed up for what? Are you sure? Kind of thing. And that's honestly what a lot of my friends did. They're like, you did what? Like, who are you? Kind of thing. And honestly, I don't know what came over me. Part of me was like, hey, it's college. Try something new. Maybe you'll like it. And I ended up being president for all 3 years. I was either voted in or, as president again, or I was co-president for a while, or I was just by myself because nobody else wanted to do it, or, whatever. And honestly, looking back now after graduation and looking back on just things that I've done, I don't know what kind of person I would be if I didn't do some of the stuff I did in college. And that's not talking, alcohol, drugs, whatever. I went to a 2-year, it wasn't a party school, I don't think I went to a single party until I was 21, and actually, I think I actually went to my first kind of college frat party like 3 weeks ago from filming this video, and I graduated in May and it's November, so if that tells you how long it took me to party, I was not a partier in college at all. No parties, no alcohol, no nothing. But yeah, I think of, like, if I wouldn't have taken the president, chair in art collective, I wouldn't have found the friends I did. I wouldn't have gotten the skills I have. I wouldn't be able to talk to people. I wouldn't be able to give speeches or do anything like that. I don't think I would have been able to do this video if I wouldn't have done the president chair in art collective. And just from the art collective alone, I was able to go to places I didn't think I'd ever be able to go to. I went to St. Louis with them. We went to Chicago. We went to different art exhibits, and we went to different just art things. And I really don't think if I wouldn't have taken it and if I wouldn't have been in that club, I don't think I would have been able to experience half the stuff I did. And I think that's just a lot of what college is just experimenting and experiencing and trying new things. And honestly, I think if you don't try new things in college, you're just going to leave the same person you did whenever you walked in. And that's my one big thing. If I were to teach anybody anything with this, is to try new things, because whenever I came in, I didn't want to try anything new. I just wanted to get in, get it done, graduate, boom, out the door kind of thing. And I truly believe that if I would have just done that, I wouldn't have grown. I wouldn't have tried anything new afterward. I wouldn't have become the person I am now if I wouldn't have done that. And I push for people to try new things, even if it's just joining a club. You don't have to be president like I did. That was a huge step. Like, I was scared to death. I didn't do any talking the first 2 meetings because I was really scared. And my professor, who was the advisor for it, she was really nice about it, and she helped me become leader, and she helped me learn those things. And honestly, my artwork is better than I think it's ever been. I don't think I would have been able to think of all the things that I would have if I wouldn't have found them. And almost hard to think about because it's like I miss them. And I can honestly cry right now thinking about them. It's really weird because I know a lot of people don't get that close with their professors. I know a lot of people don't do that kind of stuff in college, but if you do, you're going to make awesome connections. And it's going to be great. And you're going to love it. Whew, okay, Haley, calm down. Calm down. Okay, the only thing I didn't like about college, well, there was a lot of things I didn't like, but one of the things I couldn't avoid that I didn't like was the classes. Like, I'm an art major. Why do I have to take biology? Why do I have to take astronomy? I mean, I liked astronomy, don't get me wrong. I wanted to take that class, but why did I have to take Western civilization? That was a class that really ripped me a new one. That one, I got an A- in it. It was like B+, A-. It was like right at that, like, I don't even know what I got. I think I got an A-. It was an amazing class. I loved the professor. I loved who he was as a person. Well, I loved his lectures. I loved how he gave the lectures, and I thought he was really funny. I mean, the dude he had dreads that went like halfway down his back, and he had tattoo sleeves like all the way down his arms, but you never saw it until Casual Friday. So the first Friday we were all just like, who are you? Like, are you our professor, you know? Anyways, but the classes, it was just bullshit. It's like, why, you know, as a science student, they're not forced to take art classes. Why are we forced to take science classes? Like, I'm literally never going to use anything in biology ever again. Like, literally, I almost passed out in lab because we had to deal with sheep hearts, and I literally almost died. Like, literally almost died. That aside, that was the only thing that really bugged the crap out of me. Obviously, you're going to meet some people that you gel with and other ones that just rub you the wrong way, and I met a lot of both. You know, I have a lot of lifetime friends now that I never would have met if I never went to college. At that time I did, and I have people that I know never to go near again. So it's a learning experience, and that's, I mean, literal learning experience. The last thing I want to mention is that I might actually do a full video on this just because I really think it's important. But in my last semester, I had to fight for my art department, and it was a huge ordeal. It was a huge thing. I mean, we were on TV. I mean, we were trying to fight and save this art department because our state is broke. I'm in Illinois. It's broke. It's the worst state to live in. Voted worst state to live in. Probably most by Illinoisans. And they were getting rid of the art department because they couldn't pay for it. But they could pay for a new building, for a whole new nursing program. They could pay for all these other classes to be started. And they could pay for all these different new classes. But they couldn't pay for the art department. When we usually make most of the money for them. Usually. So. But anyway, we had that whole last semester. I think that was the first semester I had underneath full-time. I had 9, 10, 12. I might have had full-time. I might have had 12. I'm not really sure. But I had pretty close to full-time. There was 2 science classes. Okay, so 2 science. No. What did I have? No, that was the one I had 14. I had 14 credit hours. Because I had children's literature. What did I have? Children's literature, 3D? No. Photography. Anyways, I had a bunch of classes that were pretty new to me, but they were also like what I wanted to take. And, you know, that was a lot of work. You know, those were all very intensive classes. Plus I was helping the professors and helping other students fight for this art department. And as president of the art collective, you kind of had to step in a lot. And it was, oh my gosh, guys, I can't tell you how many sleepless nights I had. I can't tell you how much stress there was. And again, the president of the art collective thing, I don't think if I wouldn't have taken that, I wouldn't have been able to speak on 3 news stations about the art department and why we should keep it. And we had an entire conference about this to decide whether we had the art department or not, whether we saved it, and they originally voted no. And then something happened. I don't really know exactly what happened, but it was all of a sudden we got a text and it was like, we saved the art department. We're like, yay, so not only was it stressful for all of us because we were also students, we were also helping, professors. We were pretty much not rioting, but we were protesting. We did silent protests. We did everything. We made the news on multiple occasions. I actually have a newspaper over here that has us on the front saying, it was a whole front page of the Dispatch, just front page story about it. So we made a big stink about it. And I might actually make just a full in-depth video of this. I'll probably get really emotional during it, so I probably won't wear makeup in that one. But I'll probably make a whole video on it because there are a lot of things that are in the process of being cut, and there are a lot of things that people should protest for. And it doesn't always have to be with violence. It doesn't always have to be with curse words or anything. We did signs. We did rebel a little bit. Not a lot, nothing that involved police or anything. We just put up signs in places we probably shouldn't have. Anyways, we made a big stink and we made a name for ourselves, and people were recognizing who we were, and there were people inside of the college. We had a whole conference room full of people we had to cycle in and out of because we got enough people on our side. But it was the 8 people in the table that got the decision. And instead of an hour-long meeting, we got it to 2.5 hours because of how many people we had signed up to speak. And that was a really kind of changing experience because, all my life I wanted to be an artist, and all my life art was what I wanted to do, and all of a sudden it was being taken away, and that just brought the worst out of some of us, and tensions were high, everything, and that was my last semester. I don't remember doing I did a lot of schoolwork. That's a lie. I did do a lot of schoolwork because I had a lot of intensive classes, but I ended up having to drop one. That was the only class I ever dropped, was that one. Out of my 3 years, bajillion credit hours, whatever. Overall, my college experience was really awesome, and I'm lucky I was able to go when I did, because I feel like if I would have gone any other time, I wouldn't have had as much fun. I wouldn't have met the people I did. I wouldn't have been able to be the person I am now without it. I got my first real job during that time, part-time, seasonal, whatever. I ended up having 2 jobs by the end of it. And then the day before graduation, I interviewed for the job I have now. So, a lot of stuff happened, a lot of change. And I actually have a project in my bullet journal where every month I have a change page, because I knew 2017 was going to be the year of change. That was my word of the year. I knew it was going to happen. So I'm eventually going to make a big project, probably video or spread or something that shares everything that changed in 2017 for me. And honestly, college was a lot of that. College helped me change a lot, and it helped me see things differently. And I don't know, I feel more adulty. I feel more experienced. I feel like a seasoned veteran at life, even though I'm only 21. It's just, It's that kind of feeling. My college experience was really awesome. It was a whirlwind, but it was awesome. And I didn't have to touch drugs. I didn't have to touch alcohol. I didn't have to go to a single party. I didn't have to do anything bad to like my college experience. I didn't have to do anything bad to liven up my college experience because I found other things to do inside the college. I went to events, I went to activities, I went to different clubs to see what I liked. I ran a club, I did all the things inside the college that weren't bad. And I think that's just a stigma too, that people think they have to go to parties and they have to do bad things in order to enjoy college, and that's not true. So I hope you enjoyed this very long video. This is longer than I thought it was gonna be. I hope you enjoyed. I can't wait to share more of my college experiences with you and adulting experiences, which will come later. And if you guys have any requests on videos you'd like to hear about, whether it's my experiences or just what I know about it, even if I don't know a lot about it, I'll try and do some research and stuff for you guys. This is supposed to be like a relatable, helpful kind of, comedy-ish, real life series I want to put in here because bullet journaling helps your life. Why not have a little bit extra life in it? Again, I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to. Hit the little bell if you want notification. And hit the like button if you did. Bye!